In the endless twilight of the whispering forest, where shadows clung to gnarled branches like whispered regrets, a lone half-elf paladin named Lysara moved with a purpose both sacred and dire. Her armor, dulled to a matte sheen by years of relentless pursuit, bore the marks of battles fought not just against flesh and blood, but against the chasms within her own soul. Bound by oaths etched in blood and faith, and driven by vengeance that throbbed like a relentless drumbeat, Lysara walked a path stained with echoes of a past too painful to forget, a past shattered by a shadow that had stolen everything she held dear. Lysara's companions, steadfast in their allegiance and reflective of the multifaceted struggle at the heart of their perilous journey, followed with wary footsteps through the undergrowth. There was Eldrin, a grizzled dwarf cleric whose faith wavered like a candle flame in the wind, but whose hammer struck with unwavering conviction. Beside him strode Virael, an enigmatic half-orc rogue, whose guarded silences masked a labyrinth of guilt and untold secrets. And finally, there was Seraphine, a human sorceress whose arcane brilliance was matched only by the sharpness of her wit and her unyielding loyalty to Lysara. Together, this fragile fellowship threaded through the murmurings of the forest, an ancient realm suspended in eternal dusk, where time itself seemed to bend, and the air was thick with whispered warnings from spirits lost between this world and the next. Here, the line between ally and adversary blurred, like the mist that curled around their boots, and every rustle or shadow could harbor salvation or doom. The weight of Lysara's quest pressed heavily upon her heart. Her every step was a defiant answer to the darkness that had shattered her world, a shadow that had twisted the noble ideals of her order into a chain of sorrow and rage. But now, as the whispers of the forest grew louder and more insistent, the paladin faced a harrowing choice that would redefine her very soul: to save the crumbling kingdom, a land rotting from within by corruption and despair, or to rescue a single fractured friend who had once defied fate itself to save her. That friend was Kaelin, a once trusted ally who had vanished into the shadows years ago, only to resurface in the forest's dimness as something strange, something broken. The rumors reached Lysara's ears like a blade's edge. Kaelin was not the man she remembered, but a harbinger of chaos, driven by motives as inscrutable as the forest's deepest thickets. And yet, beneath the layers of betrayal and darkness, Lysara sensed a flicker of the man who had once stood unwavering at her side. What is duty when the cost is the soul of the one you loved? Lysara's inner voice trembled with doubt as the party halted beneath the skeletal limbs of an ancient tree. The paladin's gaze pierced through the half-light, searching for answers where none seemed forthcoming. Eldrin's voice broke the silence, gravelly and grave. The kingdom falls into shadow, Lysara. If we do nothing, all we swore to protect will wither away. Can we bear to let that happen? But if Kaelin is still alive, still him, then turning my back on a friend, on the man who saved me when all hope was lost. Her words faltered, caught between memory and present torment. Virael's eyes gleamed darkly in the dusk. Sometimes the friend you save becomes the enemy you must fight. Her tone was a warning wrapped in melancholy. Seraphine placed a steadying hand on Lysara's shoulder. No path is free of sacrifice, but you will choose with a heart tempered by truth. The party pressed deeper into the whispering forest, where ethereal voices rose in a haunting chorus, spinning tales of guilt, redemption, and the fine, unforgiving threads that bind us to our destiny. It was in the heart of this twilight realm that Lysara finally confronted Kaelin, or what he had become. The meeting was raw and wrenching, soaked in bitter memories and unspoken regrets. Kaelin's eyes, once warm and familiar, now shimmered with shadowed fire, challenging the paladin's resolve. "Why do you hunt me, Lysara?" His voice was a broken echo of the past. "Am I not the only one who truly understands the darkness we must face?" Her sword, gleaming faintly in the perpetual dusk, wavered in her grasp. With every fiber of her being, she longed to turn away, to save the friend whose soul was buried beneath an avalanche of pain and madness. But the kingdom's fate whispered in her ear, the weight of countless lives buried beneath creeping shadows. "I swore an oath," Lysara said, voice thick with sorrow and steel, "to protect the innocent. But I am lost, torn between justice and mercy. If I save you, the kingdom falls. If I abandon you, your soul will be forever lost." Kaelin's smile was a fracture in the gloom, a fragile, haunted thing. Perhaps the true enemy is neither of us, but the darkness that dwells within. In that suspended moment, as branches swayed like the beating wings of unseen spirits, Lysara understood the true battle. One fought not with sword or spell, but within the crucible of her own fractured spirit. With a final, resolute breath, she stepped forward, ready to choose a path from which there would be no return. "Let this be the reckoning," she whispered, "not for vengeance, but for the hope of redemption." And with the twilight as their witness, two souls stained by darkness prepared to face the dawn, or be swallowed by the eternal night. If the whispers of the whispering forest have stirred your own echoes, share your thoughts below. What would you choose? Salvation for a broken kingdom, or the redemption of a lost friend? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to join us at the tavern table for more tales where the line between light and shadow is never clear. Until next time, may your paths be ever guided by the flicker of hope, even in the darkest of woods.